What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Hit the like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content and all of these videos. Now, before I get started, and if you're listening to this, some of you might not like what I have to say. I really don't care. Okay? It's my opinion. And more importantly, I keep things objective. You know how I get down around here, man. I don't beat around no bush. I'm straight up about what I do, but I try to keep it in the lines of respect, though. All right. Now, having said all of that shit, let's get down to business. What's up, True Viking? I see you in here, Queen. Top of the morning to you. Look, we gotta address something, okay? You know the media is still gonna make a mockery of the Lakers, even though them motherfuckers ain't even playing, right? They still wanna pinpoint what's wrong with the Lakers, who did this and who did that. And listen, they're not asking. I mean, they're not sitting here saying it's a particular person's fault. They're asking questions. But that's what the mainstream media is gonna do. They're gonna push the narrative as a question, knowing damn well whose fault it is. Now, I'm lining them up one by one. It's everybody's fault in that motherfucking organization. Okay? Everybody. But we're gonna go down the line and we're gonna see how the destruction happened. All right, between all of them. Okay, I want to give a shout out to all the LDBC brothers, but in particular, I'm shouting out a couple of these brothers because unfortunately, a lot of you try to go at them, try to go against the grain. I didn't go against the grain against one of the brothers. I just had my optimism, or I try to keep some sort of optimistic view of things. But after a while, I had to come to my senses. I want to give a shout out to LVZ NBA Talk, or the one LVZ. Okay, if you haven't subbed to him, definitely go sub to his channel. All right, he woke than a motherfucker, and on top of that, uh, he's gonna challenge your privilege. Don't come over there with that bullshit. Come over there with logic. Subscribe to him. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ticket TV, Pro Basketball Update, one of the LDBC generals, uh, pioneering and innovating what you see a lot going on with YouTube right now. A lot of channels are trying to do their carbon copy, but there's only one original. Okay, salute the Ticket. I also want to give a shout out to Too Raw for TV. If you haven't subbed to Too Raw for TV, definitely go sub to his channel. What's up, Kev Foster? I see you in the building. Glad you ain't in here just on some bullshit or just because you see a particular person or don't see a particular person. Oh yes, man, I'm bringing that smoke today, whether you like it or not. But anyway, like I was saying, shout out to Too Raw for TV. He's a historian of the highest order. Okay, I got him ranked as the top historian on YouTube. You could try to argue me down. It's not taking anything away. I got him and Kev Mack as the top historians on YouTube. Okay, it's just my opinion. All right, definitely go sub to Too Raw for TV or Big Mike. What's up, Vine Allah? I see you in the building. And on top of that, I got to give a shout out to LB. Go sub to LB's channel, the political and sports channel of LB. If you haven't subbed to his page, on his shit in terms of political, knows what's going on, knows what's happening as well, and is one of the LDBC generals as well. Now, the reason why I mention those brothers is because they knew that this shit was not going to work from the get. And they've been telling people all season long, okay, from their various viewpoints. Some of them were quite similar, all right? And anytime anybody tried to come at them with any other bullshit, they were shutting it down immediately because they knew that it wasn't going to work. All right? They knew that it wasn't going to work. The reason why I said that I have some optimism is because when LVZ, the one LVZ NBA out there several months ago and made a video, he prophesied the whole thing. And everybody and their mama was trying to be optimistic and say, oh, it's going to work, blah, 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 blah. You know, he was taking all smoke and shutting them down. And look, he proved them right. Ticket has been doing the same thing. He's been calling out pretty much everybody on the team. If it's not Russ, it's AD. If it's not AD, of course it's LeBron. Okay? If it's not LeBron, of course it's Frank Vogel. And the rest of the motherfuckers that was on the squad too as well. Okay? Too Raw, same thing. He's been telling everybody from the beginning of the season, both Too Raw and LB, it's not going to work. And all of them prove to be right. Because they know winning basketball. Right? And if they're late, and even though I know all of them ain't Lakers fans, if you are a Lakers fan, you know the standards and the tradition of Lakers basketball. This is the reason why this team did not make it this season, okay? Let's start with the obvious, okay? LeBron was focused on his stats. Now, I will say this. In the beginning of the season, he had me fooled. He had me fooled that he was coming out here, focused. And look, man, I'm not gonna get into all this. 19 years in the league. Look what he's doing. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's all good and gravy. But I said from the beginning, you should not even be focused on those stats, chasing Kareem's record, all this other stuff. Yeah, it's great. Scoring title's great, but it's taken away from your motherfucking team. Okay? I'm objective than a motherfucker, and I don't mind criticizing a motherfucker. His points were rarely impactful. And even some of the role players, like Austin Reed, or like some of the other players on there, their intangibles seem to be impactful. What's up, Stephen Green? I'll see you in the building. He's done what he did to almost every single, pretty much every single organization that he's been at. And they're on the verge of starting from the ground up, which is setting back the organization a couple of years. He did not want Frank Vogel there. He did not want several players there. His body language wasn't cohesive with everybody. He was throwing his teammates up under the bus. I don't want to hear about this. Oh yeah, but look how many points he scored, Polo. Look what he did, Polo. Look at the numbers. Numbers don't. The only number that really matters, you should be talking about letters. The only letter that matters is if you're getting a dub. The only number that really matters is 1 through 5. And I'm talking about in terms of actually securing your spot for a playoff, or at least 1 through 8, well, however you want to look at it, or at least trying to make the play in if we want to go a couple more notches up. Everybody wants to sit up here and call LeBron this day. I criticize KD. I criticize Kyrie. I criticize Harden. Hey, LeBron, you got to get the smoke too. Okay? All that shit that you're saying, all these GOAT conversation, stuff like that. Look, you shouldn't even be having no GOAT conversation right now with your motherfucking season on the line. And everybody wants to ask, well, is this going to be a stain on his legacy and all this other stuff? They want to bring up the fact about Jordan and the Wizards and stuff like that. Man, it's entirely different. That's entirely different. Hell, Kobe willed his team to the playoffs doing what he could do, shooting free throws with a torn Achilles. So yes, you deserve the smoke. Focus on your numbers, looking at your stats and all that other bullshit. And on top of that, you constructed you constructed this motherfucker. You wanted certain people, then you didn't want people, then you try to get people traded, then you don't want people traded. You know, you want to sit up there and support Russ, then you're mad at him, then you don't want him there. Make up your goddamn mind. Laker Nation is furious with your ass. And that's the question. Are you a Laker or are you a faker? Because a lot of you are just there just because LeBron is. A couple of my guys that's in the LDBC community, regardless of what you want to say, they're actual Lakers fan. Like the homie, Goat Mike. He's a fucking Lakers fan. Ain't no motherfucking just one person on the team fan. That motherfucker love the Lakers. And that's what you're supposed to do. Listen, you're supposed to be furious. A lot of people want to get rid of his ass. Now, I always like to carve shit down the middle. There's only a couple of things that you could do. You could either just walk your ass up out of Lakers Nation, or you could make a dramatic change. A fucking dramatic change. I'm talking about not talking to nobody. Lock your motherfucking ass up in the gym. If you feel like you got the means to do it, don't say shit to nobody. And come up in that motherfucker absolutely destroying motherfuckers. Saying, get the fuck up out of my way. That's it. Sort of like what Kobe used to do. Because that's really what they want you to do. But we know, given your age, given now your body is really starting to break down, we know that you can't do some of the things that you used to do anymore. And people like, well, he's still out there. Hey, that's his motherfucking decision. That's his decision. What's up with the think tank? I'll see you in a bit. And that's your motherfucking decision. Listen, you wanted to get out there. You wanted to play in year 19. You want to get Kareem so bad. We already know. People going to already, throw a party and all this other bullshit. Man, people don't give a fuck about this shit, especially Lakers Nation. My cousin, my auntie, my uncle, they are fucking disgusted right now. My in-laws, they're disgusted. Because they got in-laws out there. They're disgusted. And some of them didn't even like Kobe Bryant. But they said they would rather have Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, there. They just didn't like, some things about Kobe, which I'm not going to get into or whatever. But they said they would rather have their, a lot of them were more into Magic and the Kareem and Showtime era and Michael Coop and all them. But they love Kobe, the fact that he did everything that he could to wield this team. Now, Kobe had his imperfections. All right, we know that, but his resume was far more better. And on top of that, he's a lifetime Laker. Not going to get into no motherfucking comparison. But if you want to go there, hey, that's Kobe's. That's Kobe's town, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. You going for a scoring title and you going for, them calling him an MVP, that's fucking cap. I mean, if you going, yeah, the only reason that they're gonna say some silly shit like that is to push a narrative and go for by these metrics and shit like that. But an MVP means being valuable to your team, and if you were valuable, then you would have been in the playoffs. And I don't want to hear no motherfucking excuses about, oh, well, they had people hurt. Brooklyn had people hurt dealing with COVID, dealing with Kyrie, who couldn't play. Chicago lost Lonzo Ball, still ain't got still had people hurt. Phoenix had people hurt dealing with the COVID issue. Memphis didn't have John Morant, they were still winning. Dallas went through their little turmoil. Boston, they had issues. They went from 11 to the top. Now they number 2, I think. Come on with that bullshit. Now, this ain't no haymaker on fucking LeBron or whatever, but Shannon had the audacity to sit up here and say, "Oh, about 5-8%." What the fuck are you talking about, man? That's your problem. You don't know how to be objective. And that's sad because your ass used to play professional sports, but you sure is objective as a motherfucker, or even biased when it come to MJ. You sure is objective when it comes to these other, when it come to Russ making his, when you're not objective ain't even word. You don't give no objectivity to Russ at all. Making these little these songs about him and shit like that. You should be doing the same thing when it comes to LeBron, because there was times when LeBron, a lot of the games when he led in turnovers, when he was inefficient, when he was shot jacking, when he was in the minuses. But you don't talk about that shit because you decorate him as your motherfucking king. Now, let's get to the next one. Russell Westbrook. Those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that player. And and for you silly motherfuckers that think, oh well, you just a Russ fan because True Ross, man. No, I've been a Russ fan. And I boldly went up there when at like 4-5 motherfuckers who thought I was crazy and cap for doing it, including my brother Tiki. But Russ played horrible this season. I'm not gonna talk about no 2-3 weeks. I'm talking about pretty much for the majority of the season. It was bad. Was he a turnover machine? Absolutely. Was he inconsistent? Absolutely. Was he inefficient? Absolutely. Was he unable to play his game? Absolutely. Did he have a fucking a winning mindset? Got to question that. And that's something I've never questioned with Russell Westbrook. He's not a media darling. He's more so a media rebel. And that's what gets his ass in trouble. And on top of that, you sitting up there saying little stuff. You shot yourself in the foot plenty of times. Plenty of fucking times. You shot yourself in the foot. And everybody has tried to defend you, but I can't defend your ass when you sitting up in there and not only are you fucking up when it comes to the media, but also you fucking up when it comes to the fans, and also you fucking up when it comes to your play on the court too as well. But see, y'all take it as, oh well, you're saying he's trash. You're saying that no, I'm not. I would never call him trash. But he played like shit, and he didn't play up to his capabilities. And a lot of the times, hey, we have to call it what it is. It was a destruction of what you see. He had a lot to do with it, whether you want to believe it or not. And if you come up in here trying to bring up numbers and all this other shit, I guarantee you're going to look at his numbers, especially particularly at the beginning of the season, was very inefficient. And on top of that, y'all had an easy schedule. Y'all had an easy schedule up until I forget which month it was, and then y'all went on a stretch where y'all schedule just got tough. But the other thing is, okay, yeah, I know you played hurt. I know you played with a hip injury and stuff like that. But look, there's no motherfucking excuses. Just like the same smoke we got to give the AD too. You shouldn't have never came over there. It was a bad idea from the beginning. I didn't like it. Now I don't like the fact that they were saying stuff about your kids and all that other stuff and the wife. I get all that. I've already addressed that. But at the same token, your play has to be on another level when you're in LA, the place where you're from. You chose to go there. As I've said time and time again, nobody put a gun to any of these motherfuckers' head to go there. You wasn't forced to be there. You wanted to come. You made the decision. The money was on the table. All you had to do was make the decision not to sign that ink on the dotted line. But you chose to go there. You chose to give confirmation. Your word was your bond, so to speak. Your balls and your word, so to speak. But you didn't give that to the people. You didn't give Lakers Nation what they truly wanted. Up until, oh well, now he's starting to play good. Da, 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 da. Too little, too late. And you got to do that from jump start as a Laker. Hell, on any team. As a Celtic, as a Sixer, as a Warrior, any motherfucking NBA team. And what's even more what's even more crazy too is that the Clippers, they don't focus their attention on the Clippers, but guess what? The Clippers, they not eliminated, and they got a chance to actually do something in the playoffs. Not saying that they gonna go far or anything, but I ain't trying to get off the rail. Now, let's get on AD ass. No homo. Or pause. AD, I'm disgusted with AD. I don't want to hear anything about this. Oh man, just have some sympathy for the guy. Oh, he's hurt. No, 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 no. Well, let's address what the fuck you doing in the off season. Better yet, let's address the fact that your ass did not sit your motherfucking ass down last season and rest and recuperate, regardless of what criticism that you would have took. Because you getting out there 100% or less than 100% was a big destroyer of the team. You can't be counted on. All of the bigs that you see pretty much are durable. Jared Allen, up until he got hurt, was durable. Robert Williams this season was durable for once. Karl Anthony Towns was durable. Jokic, definitely durable. Even Embiid, who I've gotten on time and time again on my squad, he was durable, even though he ducked the smoke a couple of times. Aiden, durable. The one that they criticize, the one that they say, oh, he ain't gonna be no superstar. He man, just gonna be a regular player. He ain't no Hall of Famer. Da, 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 da. Durable. That motherfucker on the floor. They secured pretty much the entire playoffs. They setting records. Best road record. Home court advantage. Held it down while CP3 was out. And on top of that, while Devin Booker was out. Durable. You have no durability. Just like I said it on Ticket's channel. Durability matters. Yeah, Russ was out there, even though he played like shit. He was out there. What's your fucking excuse? Oh, well, that couldn't have been controlled. Him spraining his ankle, da 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 da. Listen, hey, you might not want to hear this. LeBron sprained his ankle plenty of times and still was playing. Even though he took out because of his knee and all that other stuff. But LeBron has been in the league way more longer than you. LeBron takes care of his body. Russ takes care of his body. All these other people on teams, they take care of their body. Ja Morant, even though he's out right now, guess what? He suffered 2 injuries this season. Klay Thompson, all that criticism that they give him. Guess what? He's still out there. Oh, well, Klay's playing like shit. He out there. Didn't play in 2 years. ACL and ankle. Or Achilles, sorry. Major shit. Your problem is your durability. Yes, you're soft. You're soft because every time you get out there, you turn around again. Taking Will Smith Oscar and shit. You are a big problem of this team. They need a reliable big man. You are 28. I'm reluctant to think that your ass is 48. My motherfucking listen, my grandmother, God rest her soul. Didn't mean to say that, but my grandmother, God rest her soul, she moved better than your ass do. There's some women right now that are tougher than your ass. They get up out there. There's some high school or colleges, even Baycott. He didn't have no motherfucking excuses from UNC. Guess what? Pulled a Willis Reed and walked up out that bitch and was playing hurt. But your problem is it's different, man. You haven't recovered from some of them injuries that you've had in the past. That means that you're not addressing nothing in the off season. That's why you haven't been able. Listen, 100% AD. I've said before, he'll destroy. But now some people believe like, okay, ever since you done got the money, you done got the ring. Now you slacked off on a lot of stuff. You're supposed to be doing everything that you can. That street clothes bullshit. I don't like that shit. And it's a badass look. Who cares about that? Listen, it's what have you done for me lately? Yeah, you raised a banner, even though a lot of people don't respect that shit up in the stands. I'm not the one to sit up here and shit on they shit in the bubble. But I am gonna shit on the fact that, okay, what have you done? What have you done now? especially if the media keep talking about you when they're supposed to be talking about some of these other teams. That's the way. Hey, I know, humble sports TV. My bad, man. I'm sitting up in here ranting. Let me read some of your comments. You said Ty Lue made the best move ever, taking the Lakers. Well, yeah, he wanted more money. He wanted more money because he knows the bullshit that he got to put up with. Paulo, you sound like you want AD to play injured. No, that's not what I'm saying. You have to understand, put in context what I'm saying, Stephen. What I'm saying is, okay, if you do play hurt, okay, if you do play hurt, you're making a choice to do that. But at the same token, what he should have did, like I said, if you go back and go look at my older videos, when they were talking about there was something wrong with his Achilles earlier in the year, I said, sit your ass down, because you're doing more harm than good, Stephen Green. If you go out there and you play and you're playing hurt, guess what? Hey, you're taking a risk at messing up your team, or taking away, or doing more harm than good. I mean, pain and injury is different, Stephen Green. See, and I know, see, that's that shit right there that I'm talking about. Listen, Giannis hyperextended his knee and still wanted to get out there. And I don't want to hear none of this, oh, you two different play. Listen, Kobe done got out there and played through pain. MJ done got out there and played through pain. Bird done got out there and played through pain. Magic, I'm pretty sure he got out there, played through pain. Isaiah got out there, played through pain. Even in this era, there's a lot of guys that are hurting, going through stuff like that. They sucking it up and they still going. But at the same token, a lot of them address what needs to be addressed in the off season. Now, Melo, okay, Melo made the decision to go out there. He was inefficient at times, but they weren't using Melo right. So I'm not gonna give you know as much smoke on Melo as much, but you still can't. You still brought your ass out of there. You still a part of the team. So nevertheless, your ass, you deserve the smoke too. You're not exempt from it. And you played poorly. There was some times when you played poorly too, and you were inefficient. But Melo is likely to be out of there. He's likely to be out of there. We're not talking about Curry right now. Wait, what? If you're here to talk about Curry, go somewhere else, man. We're not talking about that. Stay on topic. Now, let's talk about Vogel. Frank Vogel is not a good coach. All right. Well, he's an okay coach. I'm not gonna say that, but he's not a his adjustments are poor. Even though that he the Lakers didn't do nothing in helping him in terms of what he had to work with and what he was having to deal with and stuff like that. Well, listen, Nash had to deal with the same thing. Monty Williams had to deal with the same thing. Uh, who else? Even though Billy Donovan, hasn't done his best, he's having to deal with the same thing. But the difference between them is the fact that they're actually, they're not eliminated. You eliminated. Vogel knows that he was coaching like pretty much stuff was over with. You could see it in his face. You could see it in his demeanor. He's not a leader, or he wasn't leading properly. He's not a person. He's not a player's coach like a Monty Williams is. He doesn't understand stuff. He doesn't know how to checkmate at the end, and they want him gone. And all of them, and if you're coming in right now and you're saying that, oh well, it's not Vogel, and you're getting all emotional and all that other stuff, go listen to the entire video. Everybody gets to smoke. It's not just one person's fault. There are some guys on the team who's at fault more so than others, like a LeBron and like a Russ, like a AD. Everybody gets it, including Frank Vogel too, and the fucking funky ass front office. They should blow that up too. Jeannie Buss, man, she doing a horrible job. I don't give a fuck what you say. She doing a horrible job. She had no idea what the fuck she doing. No idea. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment, man. I'll get at you later.